All right, guys, this is my first long, long video that I've done, longer than 10 minutes for my YouTube channel. So make sure to comment, let me know what you think. But we're going to be talking about Proverbs today. 10 specific verses about Proverbs that I wanted to bring up, or that are commonly known. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think about this raw video that I'm going to be doing, because usually you're probably used to the shorts that I do, so my little cutie vibes. So just let's get started. Let's look into the specific proverb quotes. So the first one goes, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. You know, many people lean on things that have happened to them, right? But think about it, dude. Like, even if you're 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, you don't have as much wisdom as God, and you don't have as much wisdom as the Bible does. And you just have to accept that. Like, that's just something you're going to have to accept. I'm sorry. So therefore, because the Bible has been around for like 2,000 years, you have to just be humble enough to understand that that is going to be the beginning of your knowledge and your wisdom. And you just have to steer closer to that vision, and steer closer to that knowledge. So that's why it's a sin to be prideful, because pride is just you being like, do you know what, dude, I've got this. You know what, dude? I've been alive for like 40 years. I understand God has been around forever. I get it. But I've been around for 40 years. So I think I'm cooler. And then all of a sudden, your pride gets on the way. And then you can't even understand God, and you can't even get to know him. Because, let me pull up the quote again. Sorry, I lost it, my little marshmallows. I have three specific screenshots that I took. So it goes, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. So again, that's why trusting in him is so important. You have to be able to just put your trust in him and have faith that wherever he's taking you, he wants the best for you. And from there, you just keep going, and do not lean on your absolute own understanding of just like, dude, I don't even need God. I don't even need to think about that sort of thing. So that's the first verse. Again, I encourage you guys to read your Bible, but if you don't have time, or if you rather these videos where I talk about them, I appreciate you liking my videos, but I encourage you to still read the Bible. It's definitely, like, the more you read it, you're going to understand it way more, so yourself as well. So, okay, second verse, yeah. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of all knowledge, but fools despise the wisdom and instruction. Again, dude, being a fool and not lacking instruction is very, very fun in the moment. It is very important to highlight the fact that it's funny in the moment. It's not going to be fun forever. Trust me on that. And you just have to be humble enough to understand that that is completely and utterly the case. Fools despise knowledge and instruction. Again, think about your friends. You probably have a couple of friends that you're like, I'm pretty close with them. But then you're like, dog, I know. Just the way they're going about life, things are going to be looking tough for them in the future if they don't get their act together. That's exactly what he's saying. That's why fear of the Lord is so important. You got to be afraid of the fact that one day he may look at your soul and be like, dog, maybe he's going to look at my soul and be like, dude, what was wrong with you? What were you doing? You got to be afraid of him. And the beautiful thing is, if you're afraid of the person that loves you the most, and you're afraid of the person that gives you all of your strength, then there's nothing to be afraid of. I don't know if that makes sense. But he goes, fear only me, and then steer only close to me, and only be dependent on me, and have faith and trust that I will provide for you in everything you ask for. That's so powerful when you think about it, because when you only fear him, then what else is there to worry about for you? Even if some gang member, okay, worst scenario, some gang member grabs you, snatches you, takes you to Taiwan, then all of a sudden in Taiwan, he cuts you up slowly. Just be like, look, I understand that is my flesh, but there's nothing to worry about. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about the absolute worst case scenarios that happen to my flesh, my body, my blood, all of that. It's all flesh. Don't worry about the flesh. It's fine. Who cares? Don't be afraid of that. In the Bible, and from what I've seen, there's pretty gruesome ways in which people died. I'm pretty sure. And you just have to be understanding of that. Do not be feared death, because if you fear death, just be afraid of him. That's it. So that's the second one. Dog, I might low-key be taking too long. I was hoping to do 10, but maybe I should be like, you know what? It's my first YouTube video. We'll go through all 10. You guys stick for however long you want. I love you, little cutie pies, whatever way. And yeah, just stick however long you want to stick for. Third one goes, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. This one, I am still trying to understand myself, but the way that I interpret it is the way you act towards people is the way that you're feeling, right? The way that your heart, not the way you're feeling, but the way that your heart is doing. And if you're just like, if you don't even have any faith in God, you don't have any faith in anything, you're just feeling angry all of the time, then the way you're probably going to treat people is with that. The way you're going to react, the way you're going to treat them, the way you're going to look towards them, the way you're going to talk to them is with anger. So that's why I think he's going, guard your heart above all else, for everything you do flows from it. If you understand and you have faith that, hey, God got me, God is right behind me every step of the way, I have nothing to worry about. There's absolutely nothing to worry about because he's right behind me at every step of the way. And be like, hey, here you go. Let me sprinkle knowledge into you. Let me sprinkle strength into you. Then you have nothing to worry about. So don't even worry about it. That's why he's saying, guard your heart. Guard your heart. Because the way you're going to act towards people, the way you're going to talk to them, the way you're going to act towards them is going to be a result of if you were guarding your heart. And guard your heart in him, dude. That's why he's there, dude. He's only there to help you. So you just might as well just give him your heart. Be like, dude, just handle it for me. Just absolutely handle it for me. Just don't even let me worry about it. Just guard my heart for me. And that's it. And then delight in weakness. Whenever your heart feels like it's taking a toll, he goes, boast in weakness. That's another verse that I just have ingrained in me. He goes, boast in weakness. Boast in weakness because your God will make it happen for you. So but you let your God shine. You gotta have trust in all these things. Then he goes, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Okay, this one's interesting. Have you ever been, my dog, if someone does something that they're not supposed to be doing, right? And you go up to them and you're like, hey, I'm so sorry. Guys, would you mind like doing this a different way? Or you're like super nice about it. You actually come to them in like an open heart, with an open heart, and you actually try to talk to them. And you're like gentle with it. The Bible says, a gentle answer turns away wrath. So they'll stop doing whatever they were doing that was wrong, most likely. Because being gentle actually enables them to open up their heart to be like, okay, you know what, sure. But if you go to them and you're like, dude, I told you to stop. What are you doing? Why are you here? Then all of a sudden, that was your anger, right? Your anger. And he goes, but a harsh word will stir up anger. If someone comes to you with anger, I know if someone came to me with anger, my first reaction, or it would be pretty difficult to like control myself a little, right? Because they started off being all angry. So I'm like, all right, I might as well react in anger. Why wouldn't I? And the reason why I wouldn't is because I have him. And who's him? Jesus. But that's not to say that most people, right, need to get closer to the relationship with Jesus, which is why this is important to note. So just keep that in mind. Whenever someone does something that you didn't like, just be super nice about it. Be like, hey, I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I just would love for you guys to stop, or whatever it may be. Just be nice about it, or be gentle about it. It's telling you to be gentle. Be slow to anger. That's also interesting to know. Be slow to anger. That does not mean do not have anger. That means be slow to it. Be slow to it and be slow to react angrily. It's not banning you from being angry. Also, I don't know where to look. I think the camera's right there, but it looks like I'm looking into the corner, so I might just stare into your guys' eyes. So yeah, there you go. It says that as well. Now let's get started with the other ones. Pride goes before you, before destruction. A haughty spirit before a fall. Okay, this one's going to be tough to understand. For a long time, I was following pride. And by following pride, I mean I was following women. I was following money. And I was making all of these things my God, not knowing how stupid I was being by following my pride, which is why you have to put it away, dude. If you want to keep being here, at least for me, I had to just put it away. If I wanted to just, because I followed God's way, I trusted in God's way, and God's way so told me, hey, leave your pride aside. If you're going to be with me, you got to leave that out. So you got to keep that in your mind. Keep that in your mind. He's the one doing everything. Do not worry about anything. Okay? Because pride, dude, like, even if you do get all those things, which is to some degree my case, I ended up getting, this is just facts. You know, I ended up getting with girls, right? And then after that, it was so empty to the point where I was like, well, what is the point of any of this, dude? I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. It's not bringing me any peace, and the only reason why I'm doing it is because I thought it'd be fun, and it was fun in the moment, but all of a sudden you look back at it and you're like, dude, it's just like there was no point. So it's like, I don't know. That's why it's important to not follow your pride, follow God, and then through it, everything will be added onto you that he knows you need. He knows you way better than you. So just don't even worry about it. He knows you better. He's better. He is infinitely more stronger than you. He's just superior than you. He's God. So just take your pride away. Humble yourself in front of God. Like, why wouldn't you? He's literally God. Then he goes, as iron sharpens iron, so a person sharpens another. This is a good point, okay? Sometimes I struggle even on accepting the fact that other people may be beneficial. But the Bible says so. So, yeah, iron sharpens iron. For example, if you're like training for a marathon, and you have two buddies that are super, super into training for that marathon, that will help you, right? And it will help you because they're also motivated, so you can motivate each other. But that is not to say that you cannot do all things through Christ who strengthens you. If you only have a relationship with God, and God and you are like this, then you can do all things as well. Then you can do all things. So just keep that in mind as well. Then commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. This one's interesting. If you want something to get done, a lot of the times we're like, we want something to get done, but we're like, I don't know if God would like that. Like maybe some people that are watching this want to be like a rapper and have like all these women and all these cars around them, getting with like 3 girls at night and stuff like that. It's like, dog, you can commit. Being a rapper, there's nothing wrong with being a rapper, but hey, maybe you're a rapper and you steer closer to God, right? You steer closer to God in the things you say and the things you do and how you act, and if your trust is in God, and if you steer as close as you can your work to his word, to how he preaches people to be, to how he talks about people to be, and how he talks to people to be, and his instructions, then there's nothing wrong with it. But you do want to keep in mind the fact that obviously you want to be with him and you want to put him in the center of everything. So just keep that in mind, and he'll make your path straight, okay? So he will establish your plans. So if you put your love in God, he will be like, okay, let me start putting your plans in front of you. Let me start, segmenting. Let me start organizing the way you should go about things, organizing the way you should structure your day, maybe organizing the way you should structure your life, whatever it may be. Your plans will be established if you're just like, hey, God, just do it for me. And commit to him if you just commit to him. Not do it for me. He will guide you to it, but of course, you still have to put the work in. Faith is dead without deeds, my friends. Now, let's go through another one. Dude, Proverbs is a beauty, bro. I'm telling you. Proverbs is amazing. So he goes, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So that's why you got to be incredibly careful in the way you go about it, right? The way you go about using your tongue. If you use it, and whenever you use it, you're stirring up anger in people, or you're stirring up all these things, then you got to be careful, because it could bring you death, right? You may piss off the wrong person. Hey, all of a sudden you were talking to some sort of a member of a specific family in like Italy, and then everyone's coming for you. If you were in a bar and you got a little too crazy. But he goes, it can also give you life. It has the power of life. So you gotta, again, that's why it's important. Just pay attention to what he has to say. Pay attention and talk about it. Talk about it with your friends. Talk about it with, I don't know, a camera. Put it in your phone and then post it on YouTube. Talk about his word. Talk about his word and rationalize it in your mind, and just give it to him. Now he goes, here, let's see. Sorry. The righteous care for the needs of their animals, but the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel. The kindest acts of the wicked are cruel. That means the wicked can go about doing something really, really good. The kindest acts Hey, let me give money to this person. Hey, let me give money to that other person. Hey, let me make that. But if they are wicked, those acts are cruel. I don't know why. I'm thinking of think about mafia members, right? That sometimes will go out of their way to just be super nice to the neighborhood around them, or to the neighbor. Like, I've seen this in documentaries and stuff. I don't even know why, but I have. They'll be super nice to the neighborhood around them, right? So then everyone's nice to them, and then as a result, nobody's really suspecting of the fact that they could be gang members, because they're like, dude, how could that guy be a gang member? If I thought he was nice, I thought he's been nice to me, he's been giving me money. How could he be that bad of a person? And that's why it says, even the kind acts of the wicked are cruel. You got to keep in mind that those people are not doing it for you. Those people aren't doing it for your benefit. They're doing it for their own benefit. They're giving you money for their own benefit. So just keep that in mind as you go about it, and as you steer closer to God, that even the kindest acts of the wicked may be cruel, are cruel. And then finally, my little chimichurris, let's go. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Now, if you're a girl watching this, you're an absolute beauty for having stuck. I don't know how many minutes it's been. Here, let me check. I can't even check. I don't know why. 16 minutes. If you stuck to this video for 16 minutes, you are an absolute beauty. And I'm sure that you're a woman of the Lord, or I'm pretty sure, and you are to be praised. And also, keep in mind that charm can be deceptive and beauty is fleeting. Meaning, if you're a guy and we're talking to some girl, she's super beautiful and blah, blah, blah. It's that beauty is going to be fleeting, boys. I'm sorry to say. We're going to be 80 years old with them when we grow old with them. And they're definitely not going to be the baddest in the room. Do you know what I'm saying? They're definitely not going to be the baddest in the room when me and her are both 90. That's why it's important for you to understand that beauty is fleeting. But if she's 25 and she absolutely loves the Lord with all of her heart, then that's not fleeting. Because that's always going to be with her, even when we're all 80. And that's to be praised, and that's to die for, you know? And the fact that charm can be deceptive, that's also important to note, you know? You can be some dude, some criminal or something that does absolute crazy things, but you kind of get along with them. So you're like, I might as well just go along with it. So you gotta be used to these things. You gotta be just able to detect these things and ask yourself these questions. Hey, this girl is absolutely beautiful, but do I love her because of her beauty, or do I love her because that's gonna be fleeting, or do I love her for her character? Sorry, my little chimichurris. That was the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That was 18 minutes. But yeah, let me know if you guys want me to do another chapter or another book, or another book in the Bible, or if you guys want me to do a specific book, and maybe we can talk about it here. Leave in the comments what type of verses you'd like to talk about, or if there's a favorite one that you want me to bring up. Feel free to do that as well. I love you guys. Take care and enjoy.